How do and welcome back. My name is Andrew Hancock and I'm a VMware technical architect from Yorkshire in the United Kingdom. I have worked with the VMware products since their inception in 1998, so that's 23 years I've been working with the VMware product line. Some of you may say if you cut Andy in half it reads VMware like a stick of rock from Blackpool. I've also written over 100 articles for Experts Exchange and won many other awards and accolades. I am honoured to have been accepted into the VMware vExpert program for the last 11 years and more recently a VMware vExpert Pro for the last 2. Just actually wanted to show you something. We've rebooted our Dell PowerEdge R730 which has actually basically had an installation or upgrade to 7.02a. And I want to show you the ability to roll back to a previous version. When you're booting your ESXi server, when you get the option, you have to be a bit quick. When you actually basically watch the screen and you're actually basically waiting for it to boot, you will actually basically see that it actually basically starts to actually basically boot off the ESXi installation media. Where you've got it installed, whether that be SSD, whether that be SATA DOM, whether that be flash, whether that be spinning Rust. When you actually basically see it do the ISO Linux boot, if you get ready and press Shift and R, that actually basically puts the server into recovery mode, and that actually basically allows you on some occasions, and I'm just actually going to do that here now. What I'm talking about, if we're again by iDRAC, we're looking at the virtual console. There we go, booting, and very quickly did you see the Sys Linux boot there? And now I'm going to hit Shift R, and that one actually basically put Shift R. You actually basically saw those options there, Shift and O and Shift and R, and I missed it. I actually missed it there. Hang on, we'll wait for the server to boot and we'll have a go at that again. Okay, so we've restarted our server, and I just wanted to show you in another video of Hancock's VMware half hours, although this is really just going to be a short one. Previously we missed doing Shift R to show you recovery mode. I was talking and not paying attention, or I didn't actually basically have focus on my iDRAC screen, so it wasn't actually accepting keyboard input, and I missed it. So I'm going to try and basically get through the waffle quick so we can hit Shift and R. But if you actually basically need to roll back to a previous version of ESXi, you can do so by rebooting the server. When you actually basically see the ESXi Sys Linux ISO Linux boot prompt, and you have to be very quick, if you hit Shift and R for recovery, you can put the server into recovery mode, and you can actually select the previous version of ESXi to run. Now I'm just going to hit Shift and R. It does actually basically state Shift O, Shift R for recovery mode, but you have to be fairly quick. And okay, we're virtual console here via iDRAC. We can see booting from CD-ROM. Can you see the Sys Linux? And I'm now going to basically hit Shift and R to see whether or not I can get the server into recovery mode. Shift and R. Okay, there we go. That's what I actually basically wanted to show you. In the outtake, which I'll include because it's hilarious, you can see how difficult it actually basically is to miss. Now you can actually basically see there Bank 5 and Bank 6. I'm going to be quite quick with this video really, because there's not really an awful lot to show you other than basically just selecting what version you want. But when you actually basically install an update, basically the installer basically installs the new version into an alternative boot bank. And as you can see here on our server, we've got 2 versions installed. We've got 176.30552 build, I should say 176.30552, which is 7.02, and we've also got 7.02a, which is 178.67351. Now you may remember in parts 21, 22, I showed you actually install 178.67351, which is 7.02a. Well, I just wanted to quickly show you that for some reason, if you actually basically found that after upgrading your servers, and you can do this on any version of ESX, and you can do this on any update that you've actually basically applied, and whether you've actually basically used ESXi, whether you've used the ISO, whether you've downloaded direct from the internet, or whether or not that you've actually basically used Lifecycle Manager, you've got the ability to roll back. You can only roll back once. So as you can see there, we've already upgraded to 7.02a 178.67351, or U2a. That is the default hypervisor that will now boot if I basically continue and select no. But for instance, sometimes you may actually basically find, and we've actually basically had a number of questions on Experts Exchange about this, where people have done updates and they've found storage controllers not working, virtual machines have disappeared because there's no data store because the storage controller driver is missing, or we've recently had I know issues where people basically were not being able to negotiate a 10 gig network interface at 1 gig. It would negotiate at 10 gig correctly, but it would not negotiate at 1 gig on a 1 gig switch. Generally a network issue or a driver issue with the network interface. So in that particular case, you've got no option really than, as I said, you can roll back. You'd have to reinstall the server. You can roll back, and this will actually basically change the boot bank to run the previous bank. So as you can see, bank 5 basically contains previous version, bank 6 is the new version that we installed. So if I want to roll back, I'm basically just going to hit yes please to roll back. That's going to switch the boot banks, and this is actually basically going to start booting our previous version that was installed on the server. And I'm going to let you watch this, and I'm going to come back to you and just finalize and finish off when we've finally booted the server. So I'll be back shortly. Okay, and I'm back, and it's gone black and white. Now, I have previously found that it's not supposed to be black and white. The black and white is caused by me actually basically capturing the screen. So ignore the fact, the fact it's gone into zebra mode. Don't worry about that. But here we can see that we've now booted VMware ESXi 7.0 release build 176.30552 successfully. So we have successfully rolled back our server, and in this Hancock's VMware half hour, that's really all I've got to say as to how easy it is to actually basically roll back an upgrade if it all goes peak time. Anyway, thanks very much for watching, not washing. Thanks very much for watching, and come back soon. All the best and stay safe. Bye bye.